Join us as we take a deeper dive into the 5 areas of family capital that we all need to be focusing on.
Welcome to the Navigating Abundance podcast. Our goal is to encourage you to pursue your total family wealth potential through insightful conversation with experts and thought leaders in their fields. But first, some obligatory disclosures. Navigating Abundance podcast do not represent investment, legal, or tax advice. Any opinion expressed in Navigating Abundance podcast is solely those of Christopher Tanke and his guests and are based upon information believed to be reliable but not guaranteed. Podcasts are produced for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered an endorsement of the guest or the views that they hold. Information shared may not be appropriate for your personal situation. Consult a qualified advisor for guidance. Investment advisory services are offered through Strategic Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Navigating Abundance is a trademark of Strategic Financial Group, LLC. And now here's your host, Chris Tanke.
Welcome back to Navigating Abundance. I'm Stephanie Greene. Navigating Abundance is all about encouraging affluent families to both recognize and realize their total family wealth potential. We are on a mission to be a source of information and inspiration for you as you pursue your best version of your own total family wealth story. Today, I am excited for a conversation with our founder, Christopher Tanke. Our topic is the 5 areas of family capital that we all need to be focusing on. Now, before we begin, I need to let you in on just a little secret. Christopher Tanke is both my boss and my dad, so you can imagine how interested I am in my dad's ideas for passing on a significant legacy to our entire family.
Wow, Stephanie, no pressure on me, huh?
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
Get it right. You better get it right.
You know, this is a great segue into a point I want to make to everybody listening today, that transferring your legacy, your family capital, building it into your next gen and next gen and next gen. Boy, that can be a humbling, daunting task, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of like parenting. You know, you heard it said before, you become a parent the day you're out of a job, or you succeed in parenting the day you're out of a job. You have to kind of like work into it. You learn as you go. So with Navigating Abundance, with legacy transfer, there's going to be a lot of victories and a lot of defeats along the way. But that's okay. So if I can do it, have a conversation in front of my daughter who can fact check me on all of this, you know, hopefully this is going to be a really, really great episode for everybody to listen to.
Yeah, I think it will be. Before we launch into our topic, I would like to bring up 2 illustrations that are just foundational to today's conversation. And by the way, we have made both of these illustrations available for you on our website, so be sure to check it out. The first illustration is, what does your total family wealth consist of? Now, I want you guys to think of this. Your total family wealth is the proper balance of 3 major things. It's the balance of ledger wealth, which includes your financial capital. It includes your logistic wealth, which is also your functional capital. And it also includes your legacy wealth, which is your family capital. Now, the 5 bullet points underneath your family capital is really what we're going to be focusing on today. So the family capital is going to include things like family relationships, your family ethos, family wellness, family practice, and family philanthropy. The second illustration is legacy wealth amplified. And as you can see, we have expanded on each of the categories of your family capital for your understanding. And this illustration is really going to serve as an outline for this conversation today.
All right, well, let's jump into it, shall we? Family relations, family ethos, family wellness, family practice, family philanthropy. What a lifetime of work that all adds up to be, but your family is worth it. So let's talk about the outcomes of each of these. Family relationships, what is the outcome we're after? Love. Family ethos or spirit, what is the outcome we're after? Appreciation for being a part of the family. Family wellness, the outcome we're after is personal fulfillment. Family practice, the outcome we're after is unity of decision-making and movement. And family philanthropy, the outcome is generosity. So if we can produce or encourage love, appreciation, fulfillment, unity, and generosity in our generations to follow, we are rich people indeed. And that is really the outcomes we are after. And that's why I think it's more difficult to build a family legacy than it is to build a family fortune.
Yes.
Because we're talking about people.
And siblings.
And siblings and personalities and opinions and all sorts of stuff. But yet, again, 100 years from now, legacy is what it's all about.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. So let's jump into this a little bit. Family relationships. I've got an alliteration here. And if you download this off our website, you'll see this on 4 C's, your commitment, your community, your communication, and your conflict resolution. All of these things are true of a marriage. It's going to be true of your family as well. Your commitment, you're trying to encourage every family member to feel they're a part of that family. It's their tribe. They truly belong there. Your community, you're trying to encourage every piece, every part of the family to feel like that they contribute something, that they're needed. So you can be part of a family that's part of your tribe, but feel like you're of no consequence to it. Mm-hmm. No. We want community. We want everybody bringing their unique abilities, bringing them together so that they can all move in concert together. Of course, communication and conflict resolution are key to all of these things happening. When things go south, conflict resolution, pretty important. And I would say with those last 2 bullets, communication and conflict resolution, oftentimes we do need to bring a third party in to mitigate, to mediate, to listen, to encourage, to cajole. It can be counseling. It can be family counseling, which is totally fine. That's a great investment to make because ultimately, if we can't have commitment, community, communication, and conflict resolution working together in concert positively, we're not going to have a family that loves each other.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work. So again, this might be very basic, but I just want to maybe overstate the obvious that we need these things. We need to develop these things. We need to be serious about things and honest. If we're not doing so well with our communication, how can we change that? How do we develop that and improve it? And you're never really done.
Yeah.
But at least maybe if you're married as a couple, have a conversation about that and be honest about it and say, what are we going to do about that?
Yeah.
We need to make progress.
Yeah. You said there's basic, but you're right. It's foundational for the rest of this. And even with other legacy planning areas, if you're able to get these 4 C's down, you're on your way. You're well on your way.
Absolutely right. Family ethos or family spirit. The goal here, the outcome is appreciation. So we've got history, story, core values, traditions. Those are the 4 bullets. So history, you want your children, you want your grandchildren to understand their roots, where they came from, who came over on the boat, and show them some old pictures and get these things down, get these things codified. Story, become a great storyteller. Or you know what you can do? You can hire people to help you become a great storyteller. Well, they'll produce through a series of interviews, a whole video series that you can have. And as actually some people I know that have part of their wills and their trusts, they have that in there. Story is where history becomes alive. It's what kids will remember. What is your story? Produce it. Everybody's got one. You might have to dig down to find it, but you've got one. That's what makes you unique and different. That's what brings family spirit. Core values. Well, those do not happen by accident. They're intentional. They need to be taught. They need to be modeled. It'd be a very good thing to come up with the top 10 things we want our children and grandchildren to understand as they, strive out into the world to be great people. What are those 10 things? Great. Do they understand them all?
Yeah.
How are we going to get them to understand?
Do they live them all?
Or do they live them
Yep.
all? That's exactly right.
Yep.
So again, some people can find if they go to church that helps, right, to create that as well. But even if you're agnostic or whatever, there are still human values that are foundational to success, and they are taught. They're not caught. Traditions, finally. Wow, to be able to to have a consistent routine by the calendar, perhaps episode like every 4th of July we hang out at the cottage, or every Christmas Eve we do this or that, or this is how we bake great grandma's pie every Thanksgiving. This is just how we do it. Man, what a wonderful thing to have, and kids will rally around that.
Yeah.
That brings roots to them. That brings stability to them. That brings spirit to them.
Yeah. When my husband and I got married, one of the things that was very important to us is that for Christmas especially, we each pull a big family tradition and then use that in our family. So I know one of our big ones is going to Bronner's each year. And for those who don't know, Bronner's is, I think it's the world's largest Christmas store. It's like 8 acres of
sensory overload.
Santa Claus decorations and glitter. It is so much. But we went every single year, and you and Mom would give us money, and we could go pick out our Christmas ornaments, and I still hang those on my tree to this day. But for me, that was a very important one to then pass on to my kids. So like you said, we rallied around that idea, and we're so fortunate that you and Mom and, Brandon and his wife will accommodate us with our little kids so we can still go. And it's such a cool tradition. Again, I had elementary school on that now my kids have.
Right. And we had no idea it was going to be a tradition, but it became one.
Yeah.
So most families have those, or you can certainly infuse some new ones. Mm-hmm. But that's what, when you're gone, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to tell you, when you're gone, they're going to remember those traditions. They're going to remember you embedded in those traditions. And with those traditions might even come some core values. So, what a great thing. Yeah. So family relationships, the outcome, love. Family ethos, the outcome is appreciation that I'm part of this family. Really important to develop. Family wellness, the outcome is fulfillment. What we want is strong, independent, flourishing, purposeful, meaningful adults and kids. And that's what we're trying to develop. Because we're not all alike. We all have different likes and personalities and dreams and visions and all sorts of things. We need to encourage everybody to flourish as they were designed to flourish, and encourage and support them in the discovery of that. Your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, right? Those 3 areas of life we want to keep track of. And I think we all understand that. And to make sure that if somebody needs some help, emotionally or whatever, that we get that for them, right? Your vocation or your calling is very important too, because not everybody is going to want to be a wealth advisor. Mm-hmm. You're just not,
Sometimes you start out life as a nurse.
Oh, talk about.
So
What?
So just for those that don't know, I started out my adult life as a registered nurse. And for a long time, I think you were planting the seed of, you should be a financial advisor. You'd be so good in this role. But I was so focused on that nursing career path. And do you remember so my husband and I went on vacation, we came back, I had like an epiphany moment of that, maybe I should become a financial advisor. I felt very convicted in that when I came back. And I remember sitting down with you and Mom and telling you, hey, I think I'm going to abandon my nursing degree, switch careers. I would love to join the family business. What do you think? And I distinctly remember this because I'm sure inside you were like, oh man, this is awesome. And you were so excited. But on the outside, you were like, you need to think about this. Is this really what you want to do? And you and Mom encouraged the pause and the prayer to see if this is what I should be doing, even though you were so excited for it. Because in that moment, you were focused more on me, right? Even though you knew it would be great for you, you were focused on me. And thankfully, it was the right decision to switch careers, but it was just very much family focused,
Right, absolutely right. And again, we didn't see any of all this coming at all, right? Yeah. But I teased you a lot about it, but ironically, and you people don't know this, folks, but Stephanie and Christopher helped us with a client event. And it was that client event and the relationships we had with our clients, the community we had, the family that we had, that she said, boy, I'm kind of missing that in nursing because the HIPAA laws had put up a wall between her and patients in a lot of ways, and she had some issues with administration. But to be able to see those kind of relationships is like, wow, that's what I want to be involved with, family impact. And that began the journey of you saying, gee, I might be in the square, right, peg in a round hole. This. I don't think I want to do this the rest of my life.
And just note, when Dad said I had problems with administration, that sounds so bad.
Yeah, right.
No, but it was more like I couldn't accept a picture that a child with Down syndrome drew me. Like it was very, very not heart-focused. And so that's why I needed to switch to a place I could pour my heart into.
It wasn't disciplinary.
Yeah, I know. I was like, we probably should delineate that. I didn't get fired for something.
All over the world. Yeah, we had administrative problems.
This podcast just got juicy.
All right, let's get into finally, and then education. Of course, that's the fifth bullet under family wellness. We need to be figuring out how to get people trained up to do what they want to do.
Yep.
And again, to be proactive with this. In the end, you want people to become all they were meant to become. And if you have resources to be able to do it, marshal them to make it work. What's your plan? The fourth is family practice, the outcome being unity, which is really important because we could love each other, we just don't get along real well. Or we can't come to decisions together well. And this is one of the most difficult ones of all because you have as many opinions as you have family members. So family practice, what we want to work toward is unity. And we find this through four areas here: family meetings, family governance, family trusts, and family treasury. Family meetings. A lot of you listening, you already have those established. Some of you have wondered about beginning those. I can't encourage you more to come up with a game plan to strengthen what you're doing or begin. It's critical that folks get together, family members get together and start being heard. And I would say start making group decisions together, even if they're small ones. A lot of family of means, they just don't seem to have time to get around to this. And what happens is when the baton is passed to the next generation and they're pushing up daisies, the decision-making capabilities of the family are quite crippled because it was the Gen 1 influencer who was making all the decisions because it's simpler that way. It's also a really bad idea because at some point you won't be here. So family meetings, really important to do, and some can be quite elaborate. They don't need to be. But, some might have family meetings quarterly. You could have a retreat once a year, and you have a great time and talk about concepts. Maybe bring somebody in to coach everybody on certain issues or whatever. Or it can be just informal. Every Christmas Eve, we're going to do, here's where we are looking back from this family last year. Here's what we're thinking this year. That's great. Family governance is more specific. It enables us, it gives us ground rules for how we're going to be making decisions. It's the way the game is played. Oftentimes, again, if you want effective decision making, you have to know what we're going to be doing. Short of Robert's Rules of Order, it's important to know what we can do, what we can't do, how we're going to value other people's opinions. What do we do ahead of time if we have disagreement? Are we going to take a break and come back a month later? How does all this work? Again, there are a lot of great resources out there. There are folks that will assist you with family meetings and family governance. That's all they do. Take advantage of them if you're that advanced. Family trusts are a way to kind of codify meetings and governance after you're here. We'll just leave it at that. And then the family treasury, or the proverbial family bank, there'll be a child that comes and says, I want to start a car wash business. Okay. I need $500,000. Whoa. Okay. Should we do that? What do the other 5 siblings think? Mm-hmm. Well, it's none of their business. Well, it might be some of their business. How do we all get on the same page with this? What is the business plan for this? How do we handle this? Or somebody wants to buy a house. Then if somebody gets $500,000 for a down payment on a house, do the other siblings also get their $500,000 at that point? I mean, what's the rules here? How does the family treasury work? Because that will create more problems than it should if you don't have that clearly figured out. Maybe the family treasury is nobody doesn't get anything until we're both gone. Well, there you go. Yeah. It works. I don't know if that's the best thing, but it works great.
Yeah.
So, but the point is you have to have it written down. People have to understand. And family treasury, family bank can be a really cool thing if it's put together well.
Yeah.
Yep. And finally, family philanthropy, the outcome being generosity. And I have said, I think in a previous podcast, that the greatest avenue towards successful total family wealth, for the successful navigating in abundance, the very best thing of anything that you can do is have grateful heirs. Mm-hmm. Not just grateful to you, but grateful for their position.
Yeah.
Generosity is how that happens. How do we put in people's hearts the concept of it is more blessed to give than to receive? And I would suggest, unless that is basically a philosophy of life, you're going to have a difficult time next gen wealth transfer.
Yep.
So I know that's harshly said, but I think it's completely honestly true. Mm-hmm. So family philanthropy, how do you develop joyful giving? Not just like, well, it's an obligation, or I have to tithe, or I have to do, or No. How do you make it fun? How do you make somebody be gleeful in their helping other people? Personal engagement is critically important. How do we go beyond writing a check versus, no, I'm going to go to the mission field. I'm going to be at the soup kitchen line. I'm going to not only be on a board for a charity, but I'm going to be in with the folks that are receiving some of what I'm able to give. Mm-hmm. In other words, it's personal involvement, personal engagement. You get your grandchildren to experience some of that, to experience some of the other parts of the world, other situations in life, and get them out of the bubble, and they will develop a heart for people and develop a spirit of generosity as well for where they are, what they can do. Really great stuff, critical to do if you're going to, I think, have kids with their heads screwed on straight if they inherit a lot.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity. It's not just a privilege. Family donor advised funds. That's a great way to do this, as well as family foundations. Again, some of you listening, you have a foundation set up and you understand the opportunities there, the complexities there. If you're not quite to a family foundation situation, and I am not, you can consider a family donor advised fund. We're going to have a conversation about that specifically with folks with the National Christian Association, I think, pretty soon here. But boy, what a great opportunity to set up a 501c3 where you donate property to, you donate equities to, you could even donate a part of your business to. And there are great tax advantages to write it off that year, but not necessarily give it away. So if I want to give $200,000 to my donor advised fund, I do not have to give it away that year. It's invested in maybe different securities and stocks, whatever I want to do. And it becomes a little mini foundation, but it's very simple to manage. And then I can decide when I want it dispersed to different charities. It's a great tax advantage strategies can be used there. But it's also a really, really great way to get the family involved. And Mom and I have been talking about that during the Christmas season, we want to have family conversation about, hey, we want to give some money out of the donor advised fund.
Cool.
Where do you think we should do it?
Cool.
And I think the grandchildren.
I was just going to say, can we get the kids involved?
I have to do that,
yeah.
Right? Now they're giving Grandpa's money away. Maybe they want to contribute to our donor advised fund.
So
they could do that.
He does have $5 to his name.
Well, there you go. So we can do that too. But the idea is developing a spirit of family philanthropy.
Yeah.
I think and if you do that, if you have people that joyfully give and are personally involved with helping other people and have a generous heart, I think your family relationships, your family ethos, your family wellness, and your family practice is going to go a lot better. Mm-hmm. Because we go from privilege to impactor.
Yep.
What a lovely thing!
Yeah.
What a lovely thing that is. So that's what I would say. it's a humbling thing to do. Again, you're going to have victories, you're going to have setbacks. It's a lifetime pursuit, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't roll up our sleeves and begin or continue on the journey. This is a very basic outline of some areas that you could focus on. Again, if you just want to download it and print it out or whatever and take a look at it, you can kind of check and see what areas might we want to focus on even this year to improve. But let's improve. Mm-hmm. Let's make progress. Tempus fugit. Time is flying. Let's imprint the next generation with our legacy wealth ideas as soon and as powerfully as we can. So again, the goal is if we can produce a family or a next-gen legacy that is full of love and appreciation, fulfillment, unity, and generosity, ladies and gentlemen, you are very, very rich people. That's what we want to see.
Yes.
And that's what's worth spending a lot of time on, because honestly, we talk about being balanced, or make sure you're not unbalanced with your total family wealth. Legacy wealth, really important, most important. Ledger wealth, that's important. Logistical wealth, that's important too. I would say ultimately legacy wealth is the one that is often postponed or pushed off. And I say actually it's the opposite. It should be first and forefront to everything that you're thinking about. Spend some money, spend some time, spend some effort to do it, because that's really what matters.
Yes. Yeah, great. Well, thank you for joining us today on our Navigating Abundance podcast. I hope that you were able to get some actionable ideas and some items that you can apply immediately to your situation. You're able to go online to our website and look at free resources that we have. And of course, if you have any questions, please contact us. We would love to help you and help you take those next steps forward in getting your legacy wealth in order. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, your family is worth it.
Thank you for joining us for today's episode of Navigating Abundance. If you found this information useful or helpful in any way, let us know in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more content like this and follow our podcast, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. If you're interested in working with today's guests, you can find their information in the description of this podcast. If you'd like to know more about Navigating Abundance and how we may help you, or find more resources related to what we do, you can find those at navigatingabundance.com.